politically with my girlfriend Tiff in Michigan. If you can't do it, then you could just be a guest. But I wanted you to have your own platform so you can get yourself out there as far as like doing what you need to do. Because you're my bestie. And you know this. Go live. Get off of here and go live. Tiffany, you got to get off and go live. Then I will see you and I'm going to add you. Can you hear me? Oh, thank you. You know, I try. You know what I'm saying? I try. Johnny Beans. Try to talk about political things. So I went out to eat by myself. For those of you that are popping in, I'm still getting over a breakup. I am now technically single, but I still love. Hey, yes! Debates with Drea and Tiffany. You guys are not ready for this, but we're about to see live. I hope people come in, more people. Let's go, let's go. But as I was saying, I was just catching everybody up, and I've been talking to Tiffany about this. Like, you know, when you love somebody, it's just like, what are you willing to sustain, and what are you willing to deal with? It's just kind of mind-boggling to me how people hold on to love even when it's so toxic. So Tiffany said something to me the other day that really brought something to my attention. She said,
Really?
yeah, you did, you tend to do that. Yeah, smart blondes do exist.
I know.
She said that she said this to me. She said, Drea, you know, I think I'm paraphrasing, okay, but she said
Obvious.
that the most toxicity relationships are people that stay together for the kids. That's apple juice.
Yeah.
That's apple juice.
Can I not drink on
No,
live?
it's apple juice. It's apple juice. So basically, I really agree with that. Thank you. You know, I'm done feeling sorry for myself thanks to this girl right here. She's really been
Oh.
supportive, and I feel like God will send people towards your way. You know what I mean? That you need for support. Like she didn't ask to be this person, but she's just like a good person that likes that has listened to me in my breakup. And you know, at one point I told her like I felt like I just wanted to like nothing's worth it anymore because you depend on so much on
Yeah.
on this person for love. But anyways, we're not talking about that fully right now. I really want to get into political things. There's some topics that me and Tiffany talked about prior to that I want to bring forward. But if any of you guys, you know, I know it's not a whole bunch of people in here, but if any of you guys are going through a breakup, I just want to let you know, please reach out to me because it's actually
Yeah.
therapeutic. I'm pretty sure Tiffany also reached out to us because, you know, it's just one thing to be a TikTok creator, but it's another thing to be there for people in our community. You know, so commutative
For real.
support is really important to me. Just letting you know, DM me and I'll juice you up. So,
Mm.
anyways,
Yeah.
Tiffany, hot tip. So, we were going to talk about some pretty interesting things. Listen, we're going to talk about Trump. Absolutely.
Oh.
So bring on the
Okay.
trolls. I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm
Is
using.
that
I'm
how
in
we
my
get?
car
Is
right
that how
now.
we?
I'm in my car because I wasn't gonna go live today. And Tip was like, "Oh no, you
Okay.
don't. If you make a promise, you got to
I
freaking
know.
do it."
I got all dressed up for you.
Yeah, you're like, no, no, no.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
She didn't take no for an answer. So I was like, all right, all right, all right. I'll be right there. I'll be right there. But I'm in my car because guess what? Guess what? I'm in a brand new
Okay.
apartment. I going back to relationship things. Sorry, I don't like being in my house alone. Like I'm so sad in my house alone. So I've been like just trying to stay busy. Anyways,
Like in your new
yeah,
in
in
your
my
new
new home,
house?
I've
In your
just
new
been
house?
out. Like I'm just trying to stay out. But listen, I meet these random people at the bar, and they ask me about myself, and of course I was like, yeah, I'm a TikTok creator, politically mostly. And I ended up talking to a pretty cute guy. Hey, I'm single now, so you better know I'm not
Hey.
desperate.
Oh.
Ever, never, could never. Um, he walks up to me, really cute guy with a beard, you know, white dude. There's no black guys really in my town. Don't fucking judge me. And he walks up to me.
Oh.
He says I'm a hardcore Republican. I'm like, oh, here we go. But listen, he was like
Oh.
kind of googly eyes. So I was like, okay, I'll listen to you. Anyways, he was really good to ascertain. He actually added me on TikTok. I hope he's not here. Oh my god. But he
Oh.
really said like why he's a Republican. But every person that's a Republican has never given me a real good answer on why they're
Yeah.
Republican.
No. Never.
I mean, what are they freaking doing, really? What Republican is nonpartisan? Come on.
Well, I mean, it's also like the voting against your own interests for me.
So explain,
Like,
please do, Miss Tiff.
oh, what about voting against your own interests?
Yeah.
Oh, just typically people that vote Republican are white evangelicals that are poor AF that live in trailer parks that can benefit from social programs and things like that, and they are voting for somebody who does not give two craps about them.
So what she means is that Republicans, if you're just hopping on, and listen, if you guys aren't into this type of stuff, I don't know what to tell you, but I plan to share this. Republicans are really for making money and keeping their money. You know what I'm saying? So everything regards to, tax credits and things like that, they're all for that. But that, like you said, vote against their own interests just because they really believe in the belief systems of which they rhetorically spew out with their freaking rhetoric.
So you cut out for a minute. So like, wait, what did you
Oh,
say?
sorry. I can't repeat
Repeat that.
that. I don't understand why Republicans basically attach their political agendas towards racial injustices, racial, societal issues, racial language. They use race to get people that are poor, that are white, which there are more of them than rich whites of this country, to basically vote for them. So they'd rather
Yeah.
be poor and have somebody that thinks like them than be rich and have somebody that doesn't. That's what I'm saying.
Right. So like a lot of white people, I feel like they identify with like they want to still benefit from white supremacy, low key, but not. And it's just a lack of education for me. It's a lack of education.
We already
The
have
lack
a
of
troll.
education is
We
everything.
already have a freaking troll. It's like, really, bro?
Wait, we
Like,
do?
if the only thing
Where?
you can say is "Let's go, Brandon," like you need to go back to school. Like, if that's the only thing you
Wait.
freaking
Oh,
say with no profile
yeah.
picture, stop. I'm just gonna mute him
It's the worst. Wait. So
or
did
her.
someone just say that? I can't see that.
Yeah, it's that's because you're on your you have your own. Are people talking on your end?
No, I have like 0 people in here.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I'm muting you. All right. So, but we also not only these are just talking points that we could talk about. Republican
Yeah.
versus leftist. So this is what I was talking about. This guys, listen. I think we could all agree that America is done with racism. To be honest, like the word racist, nobody likes that. Nobody likes racism in our country. Why?
What? Trump is a god, though? Oh my god.
Yeah, but why would
Somebody just
you?
said
Why would you
Trump
think
is a
that Trump
god.
is a freaking god? You guys worship him.
And that's exactly Kelly Ann Marie. Where's your profile picture? And why don't
Oh,
you?
she's
You
in
should
your
come on here
thing
with
now
us.
too.
You. Uh huh.
I
Oh, she's
muted
in yours
her.
too.
Yeah, I muted her, and now she's in your.
Kelly,
Get a
boo
life.
boo.
Oh.
Get a life. You're the problem. Go get an education. Open a book, darling. And disrespectfully, you're setting us back, darling. You're taking us back like 50 to 100 years.
There you go. Get it. Get it. So basically, let's
Kelly,
let's let,
Kelly,
let's
Kelly,
let's.
Kelly.
Is she
Hold
going
on, hold
off?
on.
Look, you trying to give her a new one.
Kelly,
Let's
Kelly,
focus
Kelly,
on your
where's
politics,
your
Tiff. Screw her.
You said what?
Screw her. I want to know. I want to get in your brain. I want to dissect your thoughts. This is an opportunity that I don't want to waste. I respect your time here. So,
Yeah.
what can you say about society today on how we can make a difference? Like, you're studying law. What are the issues that we should be focusing on?
That's a heavy question. A lot. I mean, a lot of things. I think it comes with like accountability across the board.
Yeah.
And then like I'm tired of law officials getting away with fucking murder, quite literally. I'm tired of sketchy, like you said in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. I'm tired of
Yeah.
old white men, yes, in our government, but also in our judicial systems,
Right.
that are sitting there with young white men. Because it creates it obvious that creates it, it's very clear that this our justice system or injustice system does work for white people one way and for black people another.
Right.
And I want to learn the ins and outs of criminal justice because I want to tear it the fuck down.
Right.
So so yeah, I'm tired of corrupt individuals in our legal systems and in our government.
Right.
So I want to try and I don't know how that will look or what that looks like, but I'm trying.
Right. You want to be a part of the change.
Because I feel like
That's
nobody.
awesome.
Yeah, thanks, babe. Like I nobody has any fucking balls,
Right.
and it's weird to me that we're always saying that, oh, act like a man and be a man, and men have not been doing a whole lot. The system has been set up to
Yeah,
benefit men.
they're the ones perpetuating the violence in our country and our world.
Thank you.
They need, like, men. That's why I said women. We have forgotten our power.
Mm-hmm.
We have bought into a narrative. Listen, I'm not a feminist. I'm a realist. Okay, we created these men, and they're acting like nutsos. Okay, Putin
Yep.
is freaking bombing just anybody to get whatever
Oh,
type of freaking land that he
you
thinks he's entitled to.
you think that would you think war would even be a thing if women were in
No,
power?
I don't think so, because women
I
fight
don't think so either.
differently. We
And
fight
we're
with our
logical
lashes. We fight with our freaking fierceness. We fight
in our
with our
nails.
nails. We fight with being the best we can be. We fight with
Agree.
being career driven. We fight with taking care of our kids, having them have the best schools. We fight with having the best freaking man. Okay, women just fight differently. We don't need to fight with
Yep.
guns. Women do not perpetuate violence in this country. It's the freaking men. It's
And
like they have some type of
and isn't it
Napoleon complex or something.
they do. And isn't it it's so interesting to me. And I do get
You guys
very
keep saying
tired
I'm
of
lagging, but I can see me very clearly. Am I lagging?
do you have anybody do you have people listening to you? Do you have followers like listening to
I
this
have like
conversation? I hope you do.
8. I think everybody's out drinking because it's freaking spring. Like, the best time to do it is in the morning. That's when everybody comes. You got to know the times, or it's either in the morning or it's like freaking after everybody gets back from the bar.
Yeah, I hear that. No, I hear that.
Why? Who do you have on your side? How many numbers do you have on your side?
Oh, I mean, I have like 150 likes, but I only have 2 people watching.
That's okay, but those 2 people might be very loyal to you. It's good.
Yeah. Well, one of them is Kellyanne Marie, the one that's talking about.
Ah, block her. Get her out of there.
How do I block her?
You gotta press their
How do,
face. Press her face or no face.
oh, there we go, right there. I
There
got
we
it. I got
go.
it. I got it. I got it. Yeah. What were we saying? Oh, no.
Hi,
So
Calvin.
I was gonna say like, I get really tired of. See, I would consider myself a feminist,
Yeah.
Drea. Like, but I do get very tired of men telling me to like not talk about men and like not.
Right.
I'm like,
You know what I don't like? I don't like when people try to tone control me. Like when men are like, "You
or
sound
police
angry."
or police me or
Right.
like stifle my voice. I'm like, first of all, I have a right to be angry as a woman. Second of all, and I understand I still have layers of white privilege as a white woman. I'm not saying I don't. I'm still a woman though, and I've been
Yeah.
sexually assaulted, I've been abused, I've been harassed,
Yeah.
I've been all these things, and men seem to have a real issue with me talking about it.
Right.
And it's just giving constantly blaming women and putting
Right.
women down as opposed to like men doing any kind of real self-reflection or work.
Right.
Oh, you're angry. Yeah, it'd be okay. So not
Right. So
exactly
there's
the
like this
same, but
victim shaming, victim bashing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just kind of like amazing to me. Like women who survive domestic violence situations. People, even women. You know what's the worst thing is that when women back these men and they're like, well, you know what, you deserve it because if you knew this person was doing this to you and you stayed. Listen, they don't understand the layers of control. At this
yep,
point, this person knows you inside out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just freaking
yep,
leave. And for men and women to even think that
well,
women want to be treated a certain way that's anything less than freaking godly is freaking amazing
yeah.
to me.
and Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah is my
Oh yeah,
husband.
he's
Like,
great.
Trevor Noah is the GOAT. That is a comedian and an artist and a creator that truly understands like reading the room. Like, yes, he bashes Trump, he bashes Putin, like whatever, but Trevor's cognizant and aware of his content. And like he all I'm reading his book right now, and he's
Oh,
amazing. He was raised by women in South Africa during apartheid, and like
yeah,
he's just the shit. I saw him in November in Grand Rapids, and he's just the best. But anyway,
right.
he was saying like he was touching on the Kim Kardashian situation. And again, like I'm not the biggest Kim K fan. However, what Kanye is doing to Kim
Yeah,
is
yeah, it's
is
scary.
terrifying.
Yeah,
Right. Exactly. So and she's a billionaire. So like so Trevor was touching on that saying, you know, if Kim K can't escape this, what kind of chance do normal women have? And when you say to women, "Oh, just leave," you're not thinking. He said this. You're not thinking about the fact that when women leave domestically abusive relationships or toxic relationships or bad relationships, like it can actually get physically
yes,
threatening
yeah.
for women.
It's very scary.
It's
Yes.
very scary.
So
So
you know what my
it's
thing is? People think because she's rich, like she could just like handle it, but it's just like no, like he's acting like he's always been nuts. So, but when you see a
mhm.
man acting out because he thinks he's going to lose his children, that's a red flag. You know,
Well, but is it the children though, or is he freaking out because he doesn't any longer have control or
yeah,
attachment
like
to
people
her?
think money is like everything. It's really not. Some people are into like you said control. I mean, just the way that
Yeah,
he would talk to her. I've seen videos where he was just constantly picking on her, telling her like he doesn't like her show, and like I literally watched like this whole clip of every time he talked to her, and it's been like it was so disrespectful. Like,
yeah.
listen, Kim is not my favorite Kardashian. I
Me,
actually
me.
like
I don't.
Chloe. But she's still a beautiful woman, and she still deserves respect as the mother of all your children. They got like 4 kids, and if she wants to, as the primary person, if she wants to have her daughter on TikTok, which we all see her, then that's her prerogative. She's not doing nothing.
Mhm. Yeah, I think I just think there's larger conversation that conversations that need to be had, which is what do you do when you make a child with somebody that is questionable, or that's another conversation. But like, what do you do when you have an abusive relationship and then and then you have kids together? Like, are you just supposed to like?
You
It's tricky.
you
It's
can't
tricky.
just
It's tricky.
leave. Like really?
Well, you can't just leave because you're afraid of retaliation physically, and that's what kills me too. Is it's like, okay, men, you want to make it seem like we're equal. We're not though, at
Right,
all.
right.
Okay, because you don't. When I put my garbage out in the middle of the day, I put on extra clothing because I'm afraid that somebody,
Yeah.
not because I'm like Adriana Lima or Naomi. I'm like, it's because it's protection against predatory shit.
Yeah, and let me tell you this. I feel that white women in this country are not advocated enough for. It's one
No,
thing to set the bar and standards of beauty and what, white women are very much fetishized by men, all types of races. But that puts you as a target. And it's
that's an
I
interesting.
have a theory, and this is just a theory of mine, that many white women go missing every day, and it's never reported. There is a narrative that I believe isn't being reported. Okay, there's only 13% of the population. They don't really report black women either. They wait for that one
No,
chick.
that's it's
Like just think about it. One woman went missing last year. One. What's her name?
Gabby Petito.
Gabby Petito. And it almost reinforced the fetishization of white women in this country.
By the media, by the media,
Yeah, the
by the
media
media.
completely perpetuated it, but the media only gets away with what society buys.
Right, but so yeah, it is a really interesting. It is a really fucked up,
Like
interesting
honestly,
conversation.
sometimes I'm
The
thankful to be a realtor and be black, a woman, because I've been in houses with strange men and that look like
yeah,
they were that type. But I feel like not everybody likes a black woman, So I feel like I'm like 50% protected because they might think that they're going to get, a blonde hottie like you, and then they just get a black girl, and that might not do it for them. I just feel like
Mm.
there needs to be an avocation for women, but not only that, an emphasis on. I mean, I can't imagine being blonde and white in this country, and every dude thinks that that's the trophy wife. That's just how they think. Even black men. I was just at a bar, and I see black men. They're all over. Everybody wants. I remember I was working at a bar, and this guy told me, "Man, this is a fun bar, but I wish where's the white women?" Like he
Oh.
said that to me.
Well, it's like I always say, like, two things can be true at the same time, right? So it's like I am here to I love you, and like I see issues with um black women not feeling protected, right? Like
Yeah,
in that same said space.
yeah, but we are in a different situation. We're not fetishized. We are constantly having to have this hardcore exterior, the woman of strength, and then they
Yeah.
confuse it with angry.
Yeah.
But the minute that we're
Yep.
coy, we're dorky or some shit like that. Like we have got to always have this strong exterior because of what we have to deal with in this country. Like it's just kind
Mm-hmm.
of freaking amazing to me. And yet you're right, we are strong, but only because we have to be. We like to be
But
feminine.
the whole
Like
like
look at this, Tiffany. Look at Asian women. They are always shown as feminine, petite, small,
interesting.
dainty.
Yep.
Look,
Yeah.
even white women, Jennifer Aniston, if you will, the layers in her hair,
Oh yeah.
Farrah Fawcett. You look at Mexican women; they're spicy, they're
That
Latinas,
they have
they're hot.
flavor. They're this that. Yeah.
Look at
Yep.
Hawaiian women, long hair, hula dancers. Look at Eskimos. Every other race, women are seen as feminine. Look at the black woman. Never really.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
always strong, freaking personality. Strong. I mean, the closest thing to a black woman is probably a Puerto Rican woman, because they're freaking.
So that's
I mean, have you ever seen? I got some Puerto Rican girlfriends. I'm like, whoa, like you're talking.
but that's where where I get where I think like more not progressive, but what more progressive white women are starting to see, and I do feel conflicted as a white woman to be overly critical of black men, because I feel like I don't want to come off problematic or like or racist in any way. But I do think that if I were to, if I were to meet a black man, and yes, again, my attraction to culture, to black men is is um is rooted in the fact that I feel like I didn't grow up with diversity.
What do you mean you
I've
don't trust white
appreciated.
women, dog? What are you talking about? What did you
You
say,
said what?
sweetie? I'm sorry. And now there's more people here. I don't trust white women. Why? But what were you saying?
No, no, no. Wait, I didn't,
No, I'm saying I'm
I didn't
reading
say
the
I did.
comments. This guy said.
Oh, okay.
But can I say this? I know you're
So
making your point, but can I say this? Um, I feel like white women are starting to take the roles of some black women. Listen, I have biracial children. You have biracial children, a child,
mhm,
and
yep.
you, no matter what, because you had a daughter that's half black, she's going to be known as a black woman. And
Hmm.
my daughter is white passing, and I feel like, so there was this recently there was this psychiatrist or doctor who was giving her background. She wanted to talk about Will Smith and Chris Rock. Obviously, she wanted to include herself within Black TikTok, and she said, "I'm a psychiatrist, and I am a mother of I raised two black children, two black girls." So
Okay.
you having black people acted so nasty to this lady because they felt that she was tokening her black daughter, therefore her opinion was correct. Excuse me,
Yeah.
why can't she say that my daughters are black and I raised them? That's so stupid.
It's I
And I'm
want to
glad
be.
more
I want
people are
to.
coming here because you know what I'm saying. Like I was just telling those dudes this. Listen, I'm a libertarian. I'm a leftist, but some things are too freaking far left to sit there and tell somebody that they can't be proud of raising their black daughters. Why can't you say, I'm a white woman and I raised two black daughters? And let me tell you something. I believe this. If you are white and you're raising a black daughter, you're going to inherit what your black daughter has to go through. Our hair issues, our societal issues, all of our things that we have to deal with as a mother. It's even worse because you might not understand it, but you got to be there for your babies. So for the world to attack this doctor because she said, my daughters, I raised two black daughters.
Well, I want you to speak on that because again, I feel like I
But
can't speak.
listen, you don't want to speak on it because you want to tread lightly. And I'm trying. I want to be the TikTok creator as more people come in here and said I want to stop that. You don't ever got to be afraid to say anything that you want to say. Don't let nobody intimidate you. And this is what the doctor did. She freaking put her tail in her between her legs and she ended up deleting the video and apologized. For what? You're apologizing to black people for raising your black daughters? Yes, you do have a right to have an opinion because guess what? Your experience is much like a black woman because you're raising two black daughters. I'm going to admit this on TikTok that I have an
Yeah.
easier life because my daughter is white passing. I freaking said it. And I don't care who comes for me. My daughter doesn't have hair like I do. And I don't listen, brushing her hair is easy. Her going to school is easy. She doesn't have to try to when I went to school, I was the only black girl in my whole school. I had to fight every single day. I struggled being the only black girl in my whole school. My daughter doesn't deal with none of that. My daughter doesn't want to have nothing to do with race because she doesn't live in that type of reality. So I tell my daughter when people tell you things about black people because they think that you're white because she's very white passing. I said you
Yeah.
stick up for my people and you do what's right. But I never want my white passing daughter to be silent
Mm-hmm.
because she feels
Mm-hmm.
like people are coming for her. Because black women are strong, and because you got those black daughters, you should be strong too. I was so pissed at that. So why are you afraid of
Yeah.
me? Why are you? There's not a racist bone in your body. Not. I can tell you this. I've only known you a little bit on TikTok, but I talk to you a lot, and I've gotten very close to you, and I would consider you a friend at this point. Like we even talk, you guys, 49 people here, even off TikTok. So I'm gonna tell you this.
Yeah.
There's not one racist bone in her body, so she feels like she's gonna say something wrong. Why? Who
Because
cares if black
because
people don't like what you have to say? Who cares?
well because yeah, because I feel like I have to read the room, and I want to have a sensitivity and an approach that is compassionate and empathetic, and I don't want to come off like I don't. I'm so yes. I'm not gonna lie. I'm so worried about being viewed as a Karen or like a performative ally that I dial back and I digress
See,
because I'm like,
that's not healthy. Okay? We got to have a way for us to be able to explain what we have to say without getting mobbed. How are we ever going to address, 65 people here now? Thank you for coming in. Thank you for having fun with me and Tiffany. Let me tell you something. We are never going to get to the core issues of things if we freaking mob people for having simple thoughts and
yeah.
feelings that are justified to their experience. See, if you read
Well,
if you read the book White Fragility, which is my favorite book, I might read it again. I highlighted the hell out of that
I
book.
have it. I need to read it. We talked about this.
That book
Like,
is my favorite book, and I used to read here when it was not so busy, just for fun. Let me tell you something. One thing Dr. Robin DiAngelo said. She said the people don't accept feedback. Racism is still here
yeah.
still to this day because people cannot
Oh,
accept the feedback. So that
yeah.
now it's vice versa. So now there's a black
Mm-hmm.
privilege going on where people are saying that we're black and we're gonna gatekeep our culture and white people can't just say anything they want to say. Well, since when? You should
Yeah,
be an
I mean,
American, be able to say anything that you want to say.
here's the thing, Drea. What I said on one of my videos too was like, there. I asked somebody this before, where I was like,
All right.
so is there there's no margin for error for mistakes with humans? We are all humans at the end of the day, and that's not an excuse to to say like racism and sexism, and it's not a thing, but we're all still humans, and I can't help the way that
Yeah.
I was raised no more than you can,
Right.
right? So it's like all I can do is try to. That's why getting a fucking education is so
Yeah.
important. That's
Education is
why,
everything.
like,
But let me tell you this: when one of
mm-hmm.
my closest friends, I'm not going to say her name, we ended up all night talking and debating because I like to debate. I love learning about people's thoughts. It's like reading
Yeah,
someone's diary. And
yeah, it's the best. Yeah.
it's amazing. And she goes, and I've known her whole life. I've known her since she was like freaking 10. And now we're adults. And
Mm-hmm.
she told me that she thought like white people were like chosen. She believed that they were like angels. Like she believed like not white supremacy because she's married to a black man. There's not a racist bone in her body, but she had some ideologies that were really like uh racially incorrect or politically incorrect, and I wasn't
Okay.
offended. So therefore, at those points after I let her say her stuff, I said, well, did you know, like, she didn't know that black people are only 13% of the population. Like, she was like, no, there's no way, because in her mind,
Mm-hmm.
she's thinking black people are everywhere, but she didn't have the number. And I looked it up and I showed her. I said, no, we're minorities. We don't even cover
Yeah.
the whole fucking globe. We're just for some reason,
Mm-hmm.
black people like to be in the same freaking cities. Like, I don't get it. But I know that it's because of upward mobility and all that, whatever social stuff. But at that point I had to
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
educate her, and she goes, Andrea, I never knew that. So sometimes ignorance is not bliss, and it's actually an opportunity for us to educate. Haiti,
Definitely.
slow
I
your
mean,
brakes. Love you, sis, but
you said-
you can't be offended. It's the offensiveness for me.
wait,
Oh my
who's gonna?
God, I can't believe that you said that. I can't believe that people can have their own freaking thoughts. Listen, I can't stand Candace Owens, but at the end of the day, I would still listen to her and accept her feedback and experience.
Hmm.
You know?
That's a very unpopular opinion.
Exactly. But the thing is, I don't care. Like, so
Mhm.
for instance, when I make my point in Haiti says child, I am not a child. I am a full grown adult. So that's the thing in the black community. It's like, if you don't agree, then it's you're a child or girl. That's very slave mentality to call a grown woman a child. And it's child.
Mm.
It's not child, it's child. It's kind of amazing to
So
me.
you said what?
Yeah, I get slang, and listen, I'm all for slang. I'm not a Candace Owens. Like, you want to talk the slang or whatever, but it's a way to belittle somebody. Haiti, you just got to do better. Like, who does that? Like, why would you even say child? Like, I can't even
Yeah.
like play like that. Like,
Yeah.
okay, child,
Well, okay. So okay. Let's frame the
child.
conversation.
Sorry,
Okay. Well,
I have 68 people here, and they coming, they coming.
I have zero, but
It's young people slang. It doesn't mean child. I don't care. It's really remedial. It really is
I have
remedial.
I have 750 likes, but nobody in
Okay, I
here, so I
get
don't know.
that our grandparents, listen, my great grandmother was from freaking Texas. Okay, she lived and she was freaking 90, and she practically raised me. And she used slang. Okay, I still say freaking things like fixing and things like that. But you should want to do better, is all I'm saying. Like, don't
Well,
call
okay,
me
okay. That's
child. Like, really? I
yeah.
don't do I sound like I do slang?
Do you? Do you?
I mean, I can speak pigeon, but I choose not to. You can't get a freaking job when you're speaking pigeon. You know what pigeon is. You know what kind pigeon. Oh, how could you take me seriously if I wouldn't talk like this?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay. So no. No, I think there's like there's so many layered conversations, and that's why I feel like
do you want to come on my end because you want to come in on the thing? I
how can
just
I do
like
that?
seeing your full blown out picture so you can see what I'm seeing.
Yeah, yeah. We can do that. How do I do that?
You just like gotta go like we usually do it. But I just like that you were like, blown up.
Okay, so I'm gonna come in your
Okay,
life.
yeah, so you can see the malarkey.
The malarkey.
The shenanigans.
The
Listen, yeah,
shenanigans.
yeah,
Okay,
come back and then I'll add you. Listen, I
okay.
don't okay, sweetie. I don't care if you slaying. But what I'm saying is it's not really a good look. Do better. That's what I'm saying. You ever heard of code switching? What's that? Whatever. Listen, I can't go to your own show, Haiti. Go to your own show. Like, sometimes I agree with you and sometimes I don't. This time I can't with you. You're derailing my whole freaking night. How do we help our children? That is a good question. We help our children by making education the pillar and focal point of their upbringing. Don't let me repeat that. Education is key. We have to do everything humanly possible to give our kids attention as well. These kids are striving and just dying for attention. And now that we have a thing called TikTok and Instagram and every other social media platform, they can't help themselves. They need someone to like them. They need someone to follow them. They want people to subscribe to their life. Why? Because they're looking for attention. And when they don't get that attention, they feel worthless. And there's so much need for consumption of content that if they don't get the reaction that they want, or the likes that they want, or the follows that they want, they feel like they're not loved. And these are the children that are hurt and wounded. I don't care how freaking much money you put aside. When your kids feel worthless inside because they're not getting recognition in a societal basis, those are the kids that pop off at lunchtime. Who's got time for gun control debates? Because I always got time for that. You got to give your kids attention. Neglecting your children. This is the issue here in America. It's the neglect of love and attention. That is the problem. Pay attention to your children. It's not the teacher's job. It's not the freaking social worker's job. It's not your neighbor's job. It's not your mother's job or your dad's job. It's your job. You brought this kid into the world and you need to instill the love that you should have for or don't have kids. Too many people having kids and don't want kids. You act like the kid's a problem. Oh, the kid is the reason why I'm struggling. The kid is the reason why I'm working and I can't freaking enjoy my life. If it wasn't for you, I would be free. I would be doing what I want. Too many Zanny the nannies out there. Zanny the nanny. Hey, that's the issue. That was a great question. Thank you for asking. Yeah, just pull out exactly what Dirt Hutch said. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you this right now. I love my children. I don't care if I have the worst day in the world. I'm going through a breakup. 7 years I was with this man, and I still love him right now. And I am hurting and dying inside. I feel like I'm not loved. The person I gave 7 years is supposed to get married. I want to just crawl in a ball and die hypothetically. But I don't care if I cried for 5 hours or 10 minutes. If my kids are in the room, guess what? I wipe those freaking tears and I make it about them. I tell my son, can you draw me a rainbow? Let me tell you something. When you love your kids will give you exactly what you give them. Let me repeat that. What you give your children is what they will give you. But most importantly, they double up on the world. Everything that they do is because you either loved them or you didn't. Your first love is your parents. Your first love is the mother. She's the first person that sees you. That's why I advocate for the gun control, because it's the second leading cause in reasons of children dying in this country. And you guys still want to talk about, well, it's my 2A and it's my constitutional right and blah, blah, blah. And I love the guns because I need to freaking hunt and freaking for sport and I want to protect my family. But it's the second leading cause of children dying. But no, it's the second leading cause of children dying. I don't care about your freaking gun until we freaking get the numbers down. Second leading cause of children dying. Every 52 minutes, something like that, a child dies because of neglect. It's not because of your gun. If you're right about something, you're right. It's not about the gun. It's because you neglected your child. You weren't watching your child. And now your child could be dead or somebody else's child. And I hope they freaking hold every parent accountable that is a gun owner, law-abiding citizen. That's the only thing I got to say about that. Next question. Tiff, are you there? And then we all sing, we are the world. We are the children. We are the ones that make a better place for you and me. So I think that's how it goes. All guns should be put away. Look at other countries. I know. Look at Finland. Look at Switzerland. Look at all these other countries. But look what they're going through. You know what I'm saying? Their guns aren't protecting. You think guns are protecting kids in Ukraine? Maybe. But they're freaking active duty. You know, it's not active duty. Everybody wants to be a militia. Everybody wants to be a militia here in America. Is that stopping crime? Let me ask you a question. If you're a gun owner or gun lover or part of gun culture, does your gun protect children? Does your gun do anything other than either collect dust or give you some type of Napoleon complex? Whatever. Hey, where'd you go? Sorry, I don't know why it does that. Connected. He like bounced out and bounced in. No guns don't even feed children now. It's like, what are your guns doing? See, Connecticut has a wonderful freaking thing called the buyback program. They're basically getting guns from criminals or anywhere, no questions asked, and turning these guns into freaking garden tools to create, produce for the homeless. Now your guns are doing something, but you have to give them away. What are you going to do if someone's kicking into your door? Call the freaking cops. If it protects me and my kid, and it will protect yours, should they ever need it? Did that help the kids in Sandy Hook? Did that help the kids at freaking Columbine? Did that help the kids at Oxford? No. Until your guns start actually physically until I see gun owners actually volunteer to protect these kids at schools, like, what are you doing? Your gun's not doing anything besides sitting in your home collecting dust. Napoleon complexes. People are too scared to fight. Okay, so you can have your gun, but why is it the first freaking resort? Because you're scared. You're scared? Really? You're gonna die. We're all gonna die. Your gun's not gonna save you from cancer or even heart disease, which is number one reason why people die here in this country. Heart disease, number one reason. You're more likely to die from the burger you ate tonight than die from freaking a gun. Unless you live in a gun-infested city like Baltimore. But what are you guys doing about it? Nothing. You guys say, well, in Baltimore, second highest crime rate, homicidal, but the black people are just killing each other. But what are you doing about it, though? You're promoting for the gun, knowing that black people are killing each other in high rates? Why aren't you doing what I'm doing? Making awareness. Waking people up. No, you're just going to say, well, I'm going to keep my gun. How much time you got? The gun debate will always be something that I care about. Hello, hi, how are you?
Hi. Sorry, I don't know what happened just a while ago, but I think I got kicked off or something.
Love you too, Mandela Mingo.
And
What's going
and
on?
nothing much. Listen to your talk. All right, I'll just talk. I'll just continue with your topic. You were saying something about the gun. It's it's not really to me. It's not really about the gun. Is how you raise your kids and stuff like that.
True.
Because no matter how many guns you have, if you raise a kid right, that doesn't mean they're gonna turn into a shooting maniac and start killing everybody and stuff like that.
It's not really
It's the
true.
raising.
Accidental deaths happen. Unintentional deaths happen. How do you explain that?
Yeah, but if you raise your child not to be playing around with guns and stuff like, or you put up your guns properly, things don't just, they just don't happen like that.
I got a question
If
for you.
you, yeah,
Got a
okay,
question for you.
go ahead.
Do you have children?
Yes, two,
Have you ever told them not to do something?
all the time, and they listen. Unless they were small, unless there's some little small, maybe like 3 or 4, something like that, then it's hard, they're learning and stuff like that. But in teenage years and stuff like that, yeah, they listen and don't ask any question. I'm a Jamaican, so how our culture is way different. Our kids don't back talk to us. My kid has never back talked to me. I
Can
don't
I
have
tell you
that. I don't
this?
have those.
Just
Yeah.
because your kid has never back talked to you doesn't mean your kid has never felt something they wanted to say.
Oh yeah. Oh, we know that, but we know. Come on now. I mean, we know that, but they know better. They know there's consequences, so they don't do it.
So what are the consequences?
Oh, they're gonna get spanked if you
Okay.
back talk me. Yeah.
So when they are doing something wrong, they are
Yeah.
disciplined.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been spanked as a kid. I'm telling you
Yeah.
right now, you wonder why I'm freaking crazy like this in your face? It's because
Mhm.
how many times as a kid when I was getting a belt released
Mhm.
on me that I wanted to retaliate. One time I did
Okay.
step up to my stepfather and I said, "You're not my father. You don't put your hands on me." And he beat me until I
Mhm.
couldn't even walk. I'm telling you
Okay.
right now. I'm telling you right now. I'm going to say
Mhm.
hypothetically speaking because I don't know where he is. But if I knew I
Mhm.
had something to protect me and my brothers and sisters from being beat on a day-to-day basis, he'd be 6 feet under this
Mhm.
ground.
Mhm.
Every
Okay.
day he beat us. Every day. And then he
For
left when
what
I was
reason?
12 and I haven't seen him since.
For what reason? Was he just beating you for beating you, or did you do something wrong, or
He
why
would
did was he just?
find reasons to beat us. Remember a Michael
Oh,
Jackson
okay.
movie? I'm Michael.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, he would literally find anything. One time, the house
Oh.
had to be clean by the time he got home. House had to be clean.
Mhm.
Right, 12 years old, I was maximizing and cleaning in my house. I was a
Mhm.
professional cleaner. But one time we saw a sock and we heard the car drop. We had a dog that could hear him coming, and I took the sock and I
Mhm.
threw it behind the bar. He lined us up and beat us into the ground. He just would find reasons to beat us every single day.
Okay. All right. Maybe that's an overkill. Well,
So
that's not.
don't you think if I knew that there
Uh,
was a way to protect myself and my as the older sister that I am, one time to
mm,
protect my sisters, we got in trouble for whatever
uh,
reason, and I said, "Go to sleep, just go to
mhm,
sleep." So when you wake up, then he'll forget about it. And I really thought I did something because we got to sleep and we slept like babies. My sisters went straight out and I went straight to sleep. When we woke up,
mm,
he beat us like no tomorrow. One time, my sister even
mm,
took a whoop for me. I was so scared. I told her she's younger than me. I said, I really don't want to get booked.
uh,
Can you say you did it? She did. She says, I did it. And he beat her. Don't you think I wanted to retaliate?
okay. Now that sounds like
So
a that.
I
Well,
don't think you
if
should
he
beat
just
your kids at all. You shouldn't put your hands on your children.
okay, but you have to understand. Now you have to understand. If you look at the results on the culture that I'm in, we have the
What
problems
do you
you
mean
have.
I'm black?
Remember? No, no, no. You're black. You're not Jamaican though. We're too big difference.
But
Too
I'm
too big
I'm
difference.
from Hawaii.
That's not Jamaica. Don't You can't compare black
I'm from an
Americans to Jamaicans.
island.
That doesn't mean anything. You're
Have
not
you ever been
Jamaican
to
culture.
Hawaii? Yeah, okay, but
I've
it's
been,
very similar, man. Like it's very
no,
similar.
it's not. Oh,
Okay, I
okay.
speak pidgin, you speak patois. I'm from an island, you from an island. I'm black, you black. What's the difference?
The big difference is my culture is way different, and we don't have the problems you have up there. Because
What
all
problems
right.
we got in Hawaii? Meth?
Do you
Because
have
we got
do you
that
have
problem.
do you have racism in Hawaii?
Yes, but there.
Bluetooth device
Oh,
4 is
there,
connected.
We do not have racism in Jamaica.
yeah, but listen, we have racism, but it's really towards Howleys, white people. It's opposite.
It's
Really true
opposite.
story. If you guys ever go to Hawaii, I feel really
Uh huh.
bad for Howleys when they come to the
Where
island.
do you where do
But But
you
listen,
live in
it's
Hawaii
America.
now?
Listen. Are you kidding me? It is America.
Uh,
Hawaii is the 50th state
mm,
of America.
The
I
maximum of
know, but are
19
you
digits has
living
been
in
reached.
Hawaii now?
5880.
Have you been to other states?
What do you mean? I'm in Connecticut.
Okay, so you grew. So how
I'm a
long did you
military
stay in Hawaii?
brat.
Okay, but
And
but
guess what?
like
I lived
but
in Michigan for a couple of years, and I was the only
okay.
black girl in my whole school. So I've dealt with it. But listen, I understand Jamaica has its own culture, but I just think that
Yeah.
you're missing the point. I don't think that it's okay to hit your children. Is that a
But
culture
it doesn't
thing?
affect us. It doesn't affect us though. Not like you have it. There's abuse and then there's is discipline. In the Jamaican culture, we a majority of our kids get beaten. And look at the results of our culture and all the bright, intelligent kids. And we're not strung out on drugs and we're not committing suicide on a regular basis. All the things that affect you see up in America. When you have problems, then you turn to drugs and stuff like that. Because I know it's not for fun. You just take crack cocaine. It starts from somewhere. We don't have those problems. None of those problems you guys have up there, we don't have it like that down here. You understand? We don't have a crack problem. I've never seen. I think one time I saw crack because he came from the States, and that's it. We don't have a bunch of people strung out on all that type of stuff. We're not under that type of stress.
Okay, but
If you
let
know,
me
if
just
yeah,
say this. You
yeah.
guys have got to see that somebody has the Andrea Show 2.0 and took my face. This is a fake account, you guys.
Uh,
That is so sick.
uh,
Really? You need to get a life. Like you're
th-
doing too much with the freaking fake profile.
he,
That should be illegal. You guys, that
it
is
probably it
not
is.
me. If you please report the Andrea Show 2.0, please.
Mm.
But anyways, back to the guns.
Yeah,
My whole point is
yeah.
this, and I want to stay on topic, is that
Okay.
when you beat your kids, you're
Mm-hmm.
instilling fear in them. And if you teach them to protect themselves with a gun, they will use what they have learned to protect themselves.
Okay. I have a question for you. You say don't beat your kids, right? Isn't that what they do in America?
Don't beat
How's
your
that working?
kids
Okay, but how is that working in America though? You guys are some of the highest in
because people beat
drugs.
their kids.
But we that's what we do in Jamaica, and we don't have none of those problems. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Why is that so?
Okay,
Because
listen,
we
listen.
discipline.
You listen. You're
Yeah,
you're my friend here. Okay, I'm
yeah.
happy that you're here. But what we're not
Okay.
going to do is not give the whole truth. So help me God. I've never
Mm,
been to Jamaica, but I've heard
yeah.
that when you go to Jamaica, and
Mm-hmm.
listen, what do they tell you when you go visit? To stay in the resort, right? Why?
Yeah.
Because I would be in Jamaica
That,
right now. I'm sick of Connecticut. I'm freaking cold.
okay. Okay. Let me tell you
Come
the
on.
reason why they say
You're
that.
saying Jamaica has no crime?
Hold on. That's not what everywhere has crime. But the thing about it is people like Americans, when they come, they do silly things. And if you do anything silly, we're the type of people we don't tolerate. When it comes to adults, we don't tolerate certain things because you're supposed to act like an adult. And in America, you see like how you like run up in someone's face and arguing with them. We're not gonna play that game. We don't
Yeah,
play
but
those little
listen.
games down here. We don't. You better act mature, or you're gonna get handled. We're not gonna be
So
arguing.
you guys
It's
are
gonna get real
violent?
serious. Yeah, now that's what we do.
Okay,
Because
well, that
you see
sounds
like
very
how
violent to me because last time I checked, this was a debate.
no, not here. I'm talking if you're in front of me. Like if you're in front of someone in
And
Jamaica
I'm like,
and you start
guns are
and you
for the losers and you shouldn't beat your kids.
well
What are you going to do?
be hold on. What are we talking about? We're talking about beating the kids or someone running up in front of your face and coming
Both.
from
This is
dictation.
crazy. That's how they do it in Jamaica. What the?
If
Hey,
you
man.
mess with people, we will handle you real
Okay, that
harsh.
sounds
That's
very violent to me. That sounds very
exact.
aggressive.
But
We,
that's
as
what
an
you guys do
adult,
in America.
what are people? Is everybody in Jamaica Will Smith? Like, just imagine
Well,
that right now. We're in Jamaica. We're in a tropical island, and
yeah.
everybody's Will Smith punching people because they don't like what
Mhm.
people are saying.
No,
That's
it doesn't work. Listen to what I'm saying. If you come up into my face talking stupidness, we're gonna have a problem. I'm not gonna be arguing with you. That's what
no,
I'm
but
trying
what
to tell you.
stupidness? Like
So,
what stupidness to you? Because I just told you that
all right,
beating your kids
all right.
causes
You see,
mental.
like,
Beating your kids is physical
yeah,
abuse, and you were like, "Nah, it's cool. That's how we do it."
yeah, and we don't have any, we don't have a drug problem. We don't have suicide rates. So that means, and we're one of the
Come
most happiest people.
on.
We're one of the most happiest people in the
You're
world.
also in the
So,
most tropical, beautiful island in the world.
so that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean
It means,
what does that mean?
my friend. No, you don't.
Uh-huh.
I am from a tropical island, and I used to think.
Exactly.
But let me tell you, I used to think that people were weird because they would talk about being cold and things like that when I was on
Mhm,
my island. And then when I moved,
mhm,
I was like, why are people said that they're Yankees and mean in the East Coast? I've lived here for 12 years. I'm telling you right
mhm,
now, the weather changes your spirit.
mhm.
That's why. If you got somebody
Uh,
yelling at you, but you feeling the beautiful sun, it's good weather, you got the trade
mhm,
winds, you got good food, good
mhm,
vibes, good
mhm.
music. Why in the hell are you going to freaking be pissed at the world?
Because you're shouting at me when I'm trying to enjoy my good vibes, and if you're shouting at me, I need to handle you pretty quick. Oh, okay. Let me give you an example. In America, right? Because I lived in America. I lived up there. In America, you see, when you fighting, you use your hands and you fight, right?
No, we have 398 million guns. People here are very violent.
If you don't have a gun, you use your hands. Most of the time, I see you guys fight with hands and stuff like that, right? In Jamaica, if you could tell when you're about to fight a Jamaican because he'll start looking around. Because anything I grab, I'm using it on you. You guys have a heart up there. We don't have that heart. If we have a knife, we're stabbing it. If we have a stone, we'll take it and bust your head with it. That's what we go to first. Especially if I don't know you, you'll see husband and wife throwing rocks at each other. And then if we have a gun, oh, we definitely gonna use it. Anything we have, we're gonna use it on you. That's how
Okay,
Jamaicans
well that
are.
sounds
You in America?
dangerous. No, that
It
sounds
is. That's
very
why people
dangerous.
don't want to mess. That's why a lot of people don't mess with Jamaicans because we don't really care what you think. If you stand in front of me and acting stupid, and I have something in my hand, I'm gonna bust you upside your head with it. That's why Americans do not play with us. That's
Oh my
why in
god.
America you guys want to. In America, you guys talk about, oh, let's fight even. No, even if I'm winning the fight, my friends are gonna jump in and hold you and let me take a breath, and then I'm gonna keep on beating you. That we don't play even. This is the
Ah,
real world. This is not.
non-violent,
This is not a
non-violent is what
boxing ring.
Martin Luther King said, Jr. here in the United States of America. Violence is not the answer,
And
you
how is
guys. Violence is
and
not the answer. Okay, sorry, Jamaica guy. I don't condone violence. Hi, but
Hey,
thank you for stopping by and sharing your thoughts. Hi, Kizzy Blitz, what's up?
good, good. What was the topic here about spanking child or?
No, it's not about speaking child. I am a gun control queen activist. And
Okay.
my point is this: the reason why I feel like our country is freaking insane, and not only our country but our world, is that violence is a solution for most. That should not be the reason why you are trying to handle anybody or a situation. People have to learn how to take things in without getting violent. There are so many other recourses that you can take, and I believe that that spanking your children comes from the slave era, right? When you were a slave, if you were a slave in those times, if you did something bad, you were beaten. If you didn't follow what the master said, you were beaten. And this became normalized within the black culture. And because of all the beatings, I believe that we're seeing that in our cities. Hurt children become hurt adults. I truly believe
Yeah.
that. I was beaten up until I had kids. I moved 6,000 miles away because I didn't want to get punched in the face by my parent because I said something wrong. And you get so used to getting hit in your family that it's like it's even fetishized. It's in a Medea on Tyler Perry's movies. It's literally everywhere, normalizing to beat your kids. That is not the way to go. I know this because I was beaten. And yes, you do feel as a kid, I'm getting beaten because I'm wrong. But guess what? The first time I got hit by someone I loved, I became super in love with them because that felt normal to me. Oh, I did something wrong, and that's why he hit me. Not that he was abusive. So we tend to make excuses. I believe that a lot of black boys are told that they can't cry in America. Black men have got to have a hard exterior. And let me tell you something right now. That's why they have such hard exteriors. But when they were kids, they would cry probably until they freaking would fall asleep because they were beaten. A lot of them were beaten. I can tell you that by belts. Why a belt? You could take a shoe. You could take, in the older days, they take a switch. But a belt, do you know what it feels like? It feels like your skin is being ripped and burned. Black people, they say, well, you're an angry black woman. Yeah, I'm angry because I was not only beaten by my family, I'm also beaten by society. And how am I supposed to be in this world and be an outstanding citizen knowing that I have been abused my whole life? And as a
Uh,
woman, I don't even compare to what a black man feels when your freaking integrity and your ego and everything is stripped to shreds by people you love.
yeah. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. You're questioning the reason why you're being beaten. Back in the past, I know some people did misuse the art of spanking a child. spanking a child is good and bad too, because it has repercussions. Okay, so like there are times you have to spank a child. There are times you really don't. Um, Sometimes, mostly, what spanking a child does, you're supposed to use it to get a certain message across, whereby they're not listening to it, and there's levels to it. Okay, so like you gotta spank a child when needed, not when you feel like it. It's a lazy way of raising a child. Okay, so
So
now,
if you are upset, I'm telling you, that is so freaking dangerous. I was
hold
beaten,
on.
and my brother and sister, because my stepdad would find
Here's
reasons to
the thing.
beat us.
Here's the thing. Like I said, what you're doing is projecting at that point, because like I said, you gotta understand the art behind spanking a child. It's not about, oh, that your parents would find reasons to beat you. It's about what, like, the ones that the time that you actually warranted the ass whooping. That's what you peak out. Okay, so like the times you warranted the ass whooping, you're like, okay, yeah, I really warranted that. And you can, instead of spanking your own child, you can correct them, and if they don't listen, you can spank them for it.
Can
It's
I
not
tell you
like,
this? You know how I correct my children? I've never
uh,
put my hands on my kids. My kids are
okay,
all well behaved. I get complimented everywhere I go with my kids. Because guess what? I talk to them and I
yeah,
get them to understand what they did. My son hates getting in trouble because when he gets in trouble, just the tone of my voice makes him cry because of the
that
disappointment.
here's the thing.
So
Here's the thing.
basically, this is how, wait, hold on. This is how you discipline your children. Your kid does something bad, you say, come here. Do you know what you did? You make them understand. Because beating them is not going to make them understand. You got to, they have a cognitive development that needs nurturing. They need to
Oh,
understand and ascertain
that,
why
that's
they're
why.
in trouble. But let me tell you this. You know what I never do? I never want my kids to be in fear when they are in trouble. See, when you mix fear and in trouble in the same um I guess group, they're going to do the three F's: flight,
Hmm.
fright, or fight. When
Okay.
your child or kid is a human being, I took psychology 101 in my year of college. I went. And you have to understand their brain is not able to ascertain what you do, why they're getting hit the way that, unless you break it down. I guess that's even worse if you talk about it and then you beat them at the same time. That's why some moms be beating and talking at the same time. But that's not going to fix anything. To instill fear into your children will get them to do it. Fight, fright, or flight. So when you get hit, I had one sibling that would run, another one that would fight, and one that would be fright. Guess which one I was?
I don't know which one.
I guess all of them at some point. But I'd say the main one was when I was younger. I was fright. I would be scared. And then
Yeah.
when I got older, I started to run away. And that's
Here's
how I coped. That's how I became with toxic coping skills. Whenever somebody hurts me, because it hurts when you get hurt by your family. When you do something bad and then your parent inflicts pain on your skin physically, you feel the sting, the burn, and the welts. You feel like you are being attacked because you are. Your parent
so
is
here's the
physically
thing. That's
abusing
why.
you. Your parents are attacking their children because they did something that kids freaking do.
Look, what was I saying? That's why I started with, there are times you gotta spank a child, and there are times all you just need is words. The reason why they say spanking is not good is because there were more parents abusing the art of spanking, even in schools too. That is why. It's like I said. That's why I followed up. The time
And
to
guess what?
spank
And your
a
and
child.
your kids are the ones that are gonna pop off at lunchtime. And I hope what you have guns too.
No, no, you're not understanding this. Like I said, Just like you want to train your kids with words, you also want to train your kids firmly. It's not
Train,
about pop.
train.
Let me
This ain't.
the way I was raised. I was spanked. You were talking about I was spanked too. But here's the thing. I'm grown up right now and I'm able to control my anger more than those that just raised with words. In fact, I can be cursed out. Like someone can stand in front of me and curse me out and I'm not gonna retaliate. That's how much control I have in my anger. It teaches you the hard part of life. That's where spanking
It
comes in.
teaches you.
Some
It
people, hold on.
teaches you horrible, horrible
No,
coping skills. Okay, so what do you do after you get beaten? You know what I used to do? I used to go into the bathroom and I used to scream silently because I knew if I made noise, I would get beat again. And I used to like scratch myself because I used to be so angry. You know,
no,
you become. Listen, when you inflict pain physically on any human being, that's abuse.
it is. Like I said, like
Now,
what
if
what
you
I-
said discipline, okay, so one discipline that I don't mind sometimes is the mere fact that like you could tell your kids to put their hand on the wall.
and
Put your
there
hand on the wall for 5 minutes. I swear to God, that 5 minutes will feel like freaking 3 hours. You're not
I
inflicting pain on them, but you're showing them that they did something bad, and so you know holding their hand up will get tiring. But even that can be like difficult because what if you do it too long?
that's what I'm
Or you can,
saying.
or like I remember one time my mother had me stick out my tongue and she popped me and made me bite my own tongue.
That is wrong. Like I said, that
So
is wrong.
that's what I'm saying. It's a slippery slope because it starts off with a smack, then it ends up, it gets worse over time. So I
It
started
is
off with getting the belt, and then I
uh,
started to get full fucking fists in my face.
like I said, you were projecting. Let me break this down. This is
Yeah,
how I
I'm
was.
projecting
Let
because what you're saying is
hold on.
mirroring my, like in a toxic
It is not.
lifestyle that I had.
You're
So I want
projecting
to
because
protect the children. Anybody here that has kids, how many kids could I save tonight from getting their ass beat?
no, no. Like
Don't
I
hit
said,
your
what did I
kids.
say? Hold
Guess
on,
what? You hit
hold
your
on.
kids in front of me, I'm hitting you. Don't hit your
I'm
kids.
not, I'm not twisting nothing. I'm not twisting anything in front of you. Like all I'm saying is, what you're
What do you want?
doing is
Why do you guys want him to keep talking so he can keep telling you to beat your kids? Sorry, sir.
no. I'm
That's just
not.
not right.
I'm not telling people to beat their kids. You beat your kids when it's warranted. The way I was raised, okay? Let me break it down. There are times my mom had to whoop me, and there are times I had to just go under punishment. Because you got to think about it. Here's the thing: from generation to generation, regardless of what you're saying, like, oh, not beating your kids is not good. This thing called genetics. There's this thing called DNA. Behaviors can be transferred through DNA, and they can be corrected through discipline. Discipline is also whooping your kids. You don't have to whoop your kids recklessly. Now I was
What
smacking the
gives you
palm.
the right? So why does it stop as a child? So every adult in this world, if they're doing something bad, needs to be whipped. That is a form of
No,
slavery,
no,
freaking practice.
no,
Don't you get
no,
that?
not adults. In fact, the age I stopped getting discipline was literally like I think 9 or 10 around that area because I started doing everything just perfectly right. Not really perfectly because obviously I still did mistakes. So during that time, that's when you teach them with words.
Can I tell you this? If I even look at my kids wrong, they know they're in trouble.
That is bad.
You no, it's not. I don't
It is.
inflict. I don't give them pain on the outside. I instill their into their spirit. I am
That's
their
fear.
parents, and I
You're,
direct my kids through the spirit of God. And I would never inflict physical pain on my child. For instance, one thing that I see when people hit their kids, they take the kid's hand and they lift it up and they pow them. They pull them
that's
up
not good.
and they slap them. Do you know how many kids have their sockets out of place because parents jerk them up and slap them? Do you know one time my mother hit my sister with the belt and the belt buckle got loose and hit my sister in the lip and her whole lip was freaking busted. I'm talking blood everywhere. And then my mom told her, sorry, mom, if you're here, to not say anything at the school, and the freaking CPS came to our house.
Now I
If you beat
understand.
your kids and they have
Hold on.
welts, CPS is going to get involved, and you could lose your children as well as you should, to me.
See, that's now I see. I understand where you're
So
coming
what you're saying is, even though
from.
society says that if you beat your kids, you could go to jail, you could lose your kids, you're still saying beat your kids?
Oh, definitely. I'm still gonna whoop my kids when
I
they
think
need.
that
When they
beating
need.
your kids is the most, it's so neglective, and it's lazy parenting. Instead of sitting over there giving them time, giving them attention, figuring out why they did what they did, and telling them that whenever I discipline my children with my mouth, I always tell them that I love you more than I love myself in my life. You are my everything. And I'm trying to guide you so that you are the best human being you possibly can. You are amazing. I instill positive affirmations into my children. And I tell them, you made a mistake. But when you learn from your mistakes, you won't do it again. If there's a will, there's a way. And if you want to be better, you will be better. I make my kids feel like they are on top of this freaking world. That they're so good they don't even make mistakes.
That's gonna
My kids
bring
don't
up.
do that
I'm not trying to pry into your personal life, but
because
like,
I
hold on,
instill
hold on.
love, and I instill what I want them to spread onto the world.
Here's the thing. Here's the
But
thing.
you
Here's
instill
the thing.
pain, you instill fear, you instill frightening. Your kids are gonna live like that in this world. If somebody hits them, they're gonna think they're gonna attack. There was a guy here that said that he would literally shoot someone if he disagreed with them. Where'd you get that from? How you were raised? I was beaten. I chose not to ever beat my kids because I know what that feels like. You know what that
Oh,
feels like. And guess what? You are deciding to carry on the generational curse of which enslavement has made our ancestors freaking feel. Every time you take that belt and you hit your kids, know how many
eh,
black adults were whipped in their backs. Google slavery, for God's sake, and see what black people's backs look like. And you want to do that to your children? What are they, your chattel?
I see it. I see.
You need to
I
do
see it.
better. Point blank, period. Abuse is abuse. Don't hit your kids. Don't hit your kids. I'll fight for your kids. If I see your kids, you hit your kids, I'm in your face. Now what? What you gonna do in Jamaica? You ain't gonna hit your kids in front of me. You ain't gonna do it. You ain't gonna touch these babies that didn't ask to be here. They didn't ask to be here. You brought them here, and you're choosing to inflict pain onto their skin, the largest organ in their body, and get welts. What if you hit your kid the wrong way and then you knock them unconscious? It's abuse. Gotta go.